Holly was grateful for the shelter of the dunes. The wind had a habit of rattling along the coastline, sweeping across the flatlands and cutting through even the hardiest of winter clothing. Where they were sitting, beyond the thick pine forests of the Holcombe estate, there was shelter of sorts. She watched the others building a fire on the beach below, gathering driftwood and any fallen branches scavenged from the nearby woods. In the summertime, the estate routinely sent groundskeepers out to ensure open fires were not set, but not at this time of year. Early spring could be lovely on the Norfolk coast, bright sunshine, warming on the skin, as long as the prevailing wind wasn't whipping in off the North Sea, at least. The sun had long since set, and the chill of the evening was beginning to bite. In a month or so, the tourist season would begin. All the local businesses, running skeleton opening hours over the winter, would be up and running once more. The seasonal workers would soon return, maybe. There was a lot of talk amongst the locals that this year would be different. Applications for job vacancies were down on last year, and her father commented that even agencies were struggling to fulfill the roles. It must be amazing to be one of those people with the freedom to travel beyond the confines of where they grew up, able to go to another country and experience different lifestyles and cultures. The prospect of learning a new language, trying strange food, or simply watching the sun set over an alien landscape was exciting, exotic. One day, that would be her. Not that she could tell anyone, nor would she when the time came. She would vanish on the breeze, carried away by an unstoppable force. Maddie came to mind, watching her as she danced with her friends a short distance away. What will become of her when I leave? That last thought dampened her enthusiasm, tempering the future vision. The fire was lit now. They were singing, the others. It wasn't a song she cared for, not one she even knew the words to, but it was popular. Their shadows danced on the sand around the fire as they moved, linking arms and singing louder as more voices joined in the chorus. Holly felt a hand on her shoulder. The touch was gentle. She didn't look round. Mark slipped his arm across her shoulder, coming to sit alongside her on the blanket he'd laid out for them. Part of her wanted him to suggest they moved closer to the flames, but he didn't, and she knew why. He would no doubt try to slip his tongue into her mouth soon. To be fair, it was to be expected. The location, the fire, and their being alone, away from the others and sitting in the darkness, made for quite a romantic setting. She would probably oblige. Mark was a nice guy. Most of their year groups steered clear of him, but that was less to do with his outbursts and more to do with the family reputation. If she knew of anyone less deserving of such scorn, then it would be news to her. Releasing his grip on her shoulder, Mark retrieved a bottle from a plastic bag at his side and unscrewed the cap. He offered it to her first. She could smell the alcohol, and it made her stomach churn. The waves of nausea were getting more frequent, but she kept quiet. The last thing she needed was another lecture on visiting the doctor. How could she? The thought of drinking made her feel worse, and she declined the offer. He said nothing, sipping from the bottle and pulling an odd face as the liquid burned his mouth. That was the issue with Mark. Immature. The bonfire was well underway. The colours, the crackling of the wood, and the spiralling wisps of smoke and flame dancing into the night sky with the waves crashing on the beach was somewhat hypnotic. Holly imagined her fears being consumed by the heat, with the glow at its heart a depiction of her dreams and fantasies.